Sexual health is hugely important, but it's one of these subjects that everyone treats as taboo, and it's embarrassing to talk about it. Especially in Britain, we have this whole stiff upper lip attitude where we're like, no, you can't talk about sex, it's too inappropriate and embarrassing, and we should just leave it all together and just be quiet about the whole thing. And I completely disagree with that attitude towards talking about sex. If we just have these conversations openly and honestly, I feel like a lot more people would be better informed and therefore safer and healthier. So even if we feel like these conversations are a little bit embarrassing and a little bit cringeworthy, it's better just to have them for the sake of everyone's better health. From the moment that you become sexually active, you are at risk of getting an STD, which is a sexually transmitted disease. Sometimes they're referred to as STIs, which is sexually transmitted infection, but they're the same thing. STDs can be caught or passed on when you have sex or when you have close sexual interaction with somebody else. And it's so important that when you're between sexual partners, or you have any symptoms, or even if you don't have any symptoms and you just want to go get checked out, that we get tested for STDs. So I thought going to a clinic and getting tested was going to be one of the most embarrassing experiences of my life. Even though I have no symptoms and I would just be going to get tested for my own peace of mind, I thought this is going to be horrifyingly embarrassing and I'm going to hate every minute of it. But ultimately, I thought this is so important and I want to make sure that I'm healthy and okay. So I looked up sexual health clinics online and I found one literally in the next street to Les Mis, funnily enough. It's called the Dean Street Express and they offer free walk-in sexual health checkups. So on Monday, I headed into London a few hours early and I went to the Dean Street Express to get myself checked out. So the reason I'm sharing this with you is for a number of reasons. Number one, I just want to make sure that you all realise how important your health is, and that includes your sexual health. Number two, I thought that maybe if I shared my experience about getting tested, it might encourage some of you guys to go and get tested too if you've been putting it off, or you feel embarrassed about it, or in the worst case scenario, you've actually got symptoms and you're too embarrassed to tell anyone about them. But the third reason I wanted to tell you about my experience is because of the place that I went to get tested. The Dean Street Express in London is incredible. Now, I'm not gonna lie, I was quite scared when I went to this place on Monday. Even though I had no symptoms, sometimes there are no symptoms or there are no noticeable symptoms. And even though I'm not the easiest person to embarrass, talking about your own sexual health is obviously gonna make you feel a little bit uncomfortable, so I was preparing myself for the worst. So I walked into 34 Dean Street and I was surprised to see that it was actually quite busy. So I walked up to a free desk and I said, "Hi, I'm really sorry I've not been here before. I want to get checked out. How do I go about doing this?" And the guy was really friendly, gave me a big smile and was like, "Just come over here to one of our screens," and he led me to this screen on the desk that had a big, like, shield over it. And he said, "Just answer these questions on the touchscreen and let me know when you're done." So I looked down at this touchscreen and it asked me my name, my date of birth, my address, my mobile number, that kind of thing. All the details they'd need to get in touch with me to tell me my results. And then the screen moved on to all of the uncomfortable questions I was dreading answering. I was so relieved and so thankful that I didn't have to answer these questions face to face with another human being. I got to do it all through a silent touchscreen just by clicking yes or no or typing in answers. And I already knew by reading the FAQ page on their website that everything I was answering was confidential. When I was done answering the questions, I called the guy over and a label was printed out the other side of the screen. He took the label and then put it on a card and then gave me the card. And he said if ever I need to get tested again, I just come back to the Dean Street Express, scan my card, and they'll have all of my information on file and all of my past results. Another thing that I was worried about prior to getting tested was that I would be judged, but this made me feel like I was welcome to go back whenever I wanted, just for my own peace of mind, whether I had symptoms or not, and that they would always be there ready to help me should I ever need to go back. So if you're London based and you feel like you need to get checked out because you have symptoms, or you just want to get checked out for your own peace of mind, go to 34 Dean Street Express. Even though not all clinics are going to be like the Dean Street Express, they're still there to care for and help you, and they will still be completely confidential and non-judgmental. And it's so incredibly important that from the moment that you are sexually active, you take care of your sexual health like you take care of the rest of your health. And it doesn't need to be embarrassing or cringeworthy, and the more that we talk about it and the more that we have these conversations, the less taboo it's going to become. And hopefully that will result in everyone being safer and healthier. So I encourage anyone in my audience who is sexually active to go and get yourself checked out, whether that's at Dean Street Express or a clinic near you.